And thanks to everyone for joining us this evening. We're talking love and the law. We'd love to hear from you. If you would like to give us a call, the number 855-LAW-1955. We have LaShawn from Edgewater Oaks. She's been hanging patiently on the line with us. LaShawn, we appreciate that. Please go right ahead with your question.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Well,
great,
how are
LaShawn,
you?
Thank you.
I'm blessed. Thanks for asking.
Good.
First, my question is about adoption. My daughter wants me to adopt her 2 boys, which is my grandbaby. I would love to do that, but do we have to have a consigned consent dealing with the father giving his rights up? And also, how much do that cost of a range of a lawyer doing that, and how long would it take to get approved?
Okay, let me see, maybe there's a lot of questions. First of all, does the father have to give consent? Yes, the father and the mother have to give consent. Or if they don't give consent, then you have to have them both served, and they have so many days to file an answer with the court. As long as they're served and do not file an answer, then you're okay. And your other question was, how much it costs, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, that would depend on several things. If you had to publish the notification, it would be a certain charge. You've got court costs to pay. How many kids is it?
2, I think she said.
You're probably, adoption is not an expensive type thing to do, relatively speaking. You're probably talking about, with fees and publication fees, you're probably looking, this is a guess based on what you've told me so far, probably around $2,500 would be the most you could be expected to pay for something like that.
And is that I think one of her other questions was, is it a pretty quick process, but it sounds like it depends on notification and things like that.
Nothing in the courts are quick on
Okay,
me.
there you go.
Okay. I think you're probably talking about, I've got an adoption right now that I filed about 3 months ago, and it came up for hearing, so you're probably looking at 3 to 4 months before you get to court.
Okay.
And you've got to consider, we've got 2 probate judges for Jefferson County. That's, 2 probate judges handle all the cases for Jefferson County. So you can imagine, things are not going to happen overnight.
Yes. Were you going to ask a question?
Tim, you had mentioned people can voluntarily give up their parental rights, of course, but what does the court look at if they're going to attempt to terminate somebody's parental rights? So if you're going to try to adopt a child and one of the biological parents is arguing about it, what is the court going to look at in determining whether those parental rights should be terminated?
Okay. Adoption by operation of law does terminate parental rights. Okay. So if I understand the question correctly, you can, if you file an adoption and you don't have the consent of the parent, then it becomes a contested adoption.
Right.
Okay. And then I've had one of those, I've had several one of those, and on one I had, the parents lived in Vestavia, the mother died from a drug overdose, the grandparents got the child and they wanted to adopt, and the father objected to the adoption. It turned out that the father had drug problems himself.
Right.
And when the judge found that out, then she okayed the adoption, which automatically terminated his parental rights.
Right.
Now there's another procedure that I get asked a lot of questions about. People want to terminate their parental rights to avoid paying child support. Okay, it just doesn't work that way.
Okay. So you cannot do that.
Right. So there's 2 types of termination of parental rights. One is adoption, and just termination of parental rights based upon they're just a horrible parent and the child needs better.
Understood.
Wonderful. Thank you for that explanation.